Would you want to witness if you had a chance in his life?
It would be his last day. I remember one thing I read in the Sirah, that on his last day, when the companions were praying in the mosque, he was in his room because he was too weak to attend the prayer. And he lifted the curtain of his room, looking at the companion standing in prayer, and he smiled. And he smiled because he could leave this world peacefully now. This impossible mission that started 23 years earlier, he did it. He really did it. Just imagine about what God asked him to do. The first revelation, and he knows he has to go to his people at that time, and he has to go to each and everybody and convince him, look, I'm a messenger of God. There's an angel coming to me. And if you don't follow me, you might go to hellfire. It's such a strange story. Imagine you have to tell this to your neighbor. He will think you are crazy, and that's what people thought about him. This is a crazy story. And if you look at this from a certain angle, it is a crazy story. And there were so many obstacles, so many days in his life where you would think, where to go now? I remember the day when he went to Taif and how the people treated him. And when you read the prayer that he made after he was treated in that way, you can see a person who was sitting there with a mission and all doors are shut. Just saying to God, what now? Where can I go now? I cannot go back to Mecca. I cannot go to Taif. I'm sitting here. Where to go now? What to do? And there was more than one moment in his life like this. We come to his last day, seeing his companions standing in prayer. The mission was over. The mission was over and he smiled.
Did anyone around you become Muslim after being inspired by you?
Only my wife. I converted to Islam and she followed me a couple of months later. And then we married. That's why I got married at a very, very early age.
Describe the feelings when you heard that she was ready to become Muslim. How did you feel?
Oh, I wished for that the whole time. She was the one person where I said, okay, if we want to have a family, I want to have a family with a Muslim woman, of course. So, of course, I wished for her to accept Islam. And I prayed a lot. I didn't expect her to become Muslim. But after all, as I said, it's a serious issue. It just depends on if you're ready to take it seriously. We are talking about eternity. I sometimes gave people this example. What makes more sense to worry about? A future of 80 years or a future of 80 billion years? And this makes people think. Yeah, we have maybe 80 years, 90 years, 50 years, we don't know. But it's very limited. After that, eternity starts. It's the most serious thing in life. I realized that, and she as well.
And how did she come and tell you this? Can you tell us?
We visited my friend, my Pakistani friend. At that time, he was a student. This was all of a sudden, I saw her. You noticed when someone has an important announcement to make. So she was a bit nervous, standing there, not sitting down. I was sitting there, my friend sitting there, and she was standing at the door, and you said, okay, so what's happening next? And then she smiled and she said, today I came here to inform you that I want to become a Muslim. Just my friend and I looking at each other. We said, wow. That was the moment when she took the Shahada there, just in front of us two. And this was really one of the most happiest moments in life.
What was the major challenge that you faced after becoming Muslim?
The major challenge I faced after becoming Muslim was actually, it was getting used to a completely different culture. I was in the mosque where I attended the prayer. This mosque was located in a city of 280,000. I think there were 3 or 4 other German converts. I really felt like an alien at that time. Yeah, that was sometimes difficult.
How were you try to overcome that feeling, and how could you manage to?
There was something that made it easier. There's one thing I really liked about the Islamic culture, and that was the welcome of all these brothers. Then I came to the mosque and brothers heard that I'm Muslim. Everybody tried to help, and if you have a question, just sit with me. And if you want to sleep at my home, you're most welcome. Well, it's unnormal for a German. He wouldn't say something like that. They were very generous people. It was a welcome culture. That made things easier.
Many people think that when they become Muslim, they will turn into an Arab, they will change their name, they will change their culture entirely. Did you also have these concerns, and how did you overcome these things?
Actually, I was also under the impression that when you become Muslim, you also become Arab. You wouldn't say that, but it's the feeling you have. You think you have to change your clothes, you have to change your name, and that's even what many people say. Up until this day, it's the most frequent question that I'm asked. What's your Islamic name? And then I say, it's Marcel. No, but the Islamic name. It's Marcel. No, didn't you change your name? It's such a strange thing. And in addition to that, it gives people a false image about Islam. Because actually Islam, when it spread, it accepted different cultures, except the parts that are not allowed in our religion. For example, it spread and there was a culture where it was normal to drink wine. Of course, drinking wine is not accepted. But apart from that, the way they eat, the way they dress within the limits of Islam, it's accepted and welcome in Islam. Otherwise, Islam wouldn't spread in that way. Just imagine you try to spread an Arabic desert culture to the whole world. It won't. I feel this is especially in the West sometimes an obstacle. If you give people this impression that you get this religion, but you have to change your culture. No, they don't have to. I was thinking about my father. My father is now 74 years old. He would never accept the Arab culture, but he might accept the belief in one God and worshipping only him. And that's enough. We don't want to make Arabs out of the people or Turkish, whatever. We hope that they become Muslims.
Have you ever experienced an extraordinary event where you felt that you had a special connection with Allah?
One of the really extraordinary moments was when I made my first Umrah, end of 1997. The Umrah is, you can say, when you visit the Kaaba.
Mecca.
Yeah, Mecca. You go to Mecca and you enter the house of Allah. Sometimes you have these moments in life. We believe that God is watching over our complete life. But sometimes you have these moments where you have the feeling He's taking your hand and guiding you to a very special experience in your life. And that was the moment. And when I first went to Mecca, I will never forget.
Did you cry when you saw the Kaaba, or how did you feel?
The first trip to Mecca, it was something I cannot describe. I cried the whole time. There was just, sometimes I tried to stop crying. You want to pray or do something, but I couldn't help myself the whole time. When I was in Mecca, during my first trip, I made Umrah 5 times, just coming and going. I couldn't get enough of this. Just I took the taxi and I did it all on my own. It was my first trip to Mecca. I just had a small book with me. I mean, just checking what to do. But I just enjoyed the moment there. I will never forget. And especially how I ended up in Mecca. This whole journey was so beautiful. When I remember it now. You see, there are moments in life where you feel you are just flying. And then I understood something. I understood why the 5 daily prayers are prescribed in Islam. We sometimes think, why does God need our prayer? No, He doesn't need your prayer. But if you don't pray, you will starve your soul to death. Your soul is here, and just like your body, your soul needs food to survive. But it doesn't need water or orange juice or meat or whatever. It needs something else. It needs this connection to God. And 5 daily prayers, this is the food for your soul. If you don't do it, it will starve to death. And this is what I felt in these moments, especially when I was in Mecca. It's like as if you feel the presence of angels. And this is what I felt in Mecca.
And how did it feel like stepping on the same land that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ?
Oh. It's sometimes as if you can see the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ all around you. You see these small hills, Safa and Marwa, that we step on during when we're in Mecca. You remember the moment when the Prophet Muhammad was there and introducing Islam to the people and how they reacted to him. It's like you are living the history of Islam.
What is the biggest change Islam has made in your life? How do you see the difference between the Marcel before Islam and Marcel after Islam?
It's very simple. It's a calmness and sweetness in the heart when you know why you are here. This is the biggest change at all.
Lastly, if you had a chance to speak to all the non-Muslims in the world, what would you like to say to them if you had a few moments?
Something to say to all non-Muslims in the world. I would like to quote one verse from the Quran. Do you think we created you just for amusement and play, and you wouldn't be brought back to us? if you just look inside yourself, I think you will know that there is one God, and He would never create this universe just like that. There must be something behind that. Go and search for the reason what is behind this universe.
Brother Masterclass, thank you so much for your sincere answers. Allah preserve you and protect you until the last breath upon Islam.
All of us.
Jazakallah khairan.
I have to thank you for this nice interview, and I hope to see you one time again in the future.
Inshallah. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.